I can imagine how you are just completely confused and bewildered by like stuff like intermittent fasting, and then there's keto, and then there's paleo, and you have no idea what is going on. So I want to tell you first and foremost something that hopefully you know by now. In the end of the day, calories is what is most important. It's calories in versus calories out. In any diet that you hear of, and intermittent fasting is not really a diet, it's just a way of eating. But intermittent fasting, paleo, keto, whatever, Atkins, carnivore, if somebody sees results in losing weight, they're on a caloric deficit. If somebody is not seeing results in losing weight, they are not on a caloric deficit. Actually, the two types of people that are not seeing results are people that are not on a caloric deficit, their calories in are equal to their calories out, or they're eating more, or they are severely under eating. Now, if you cut too many calories, that will work for maybe like a week, maybe 10 days. But for one, you're gonna get such big cravings, and then you're just gonna end up binging because nobody has the willpower to stay on a big caloric deficit. And two, your body's smart. When you're on a big caloric deficit, like more than 500 calories a day, then your body will shut down all its non-essential functions. Meaning like your hair growth, your eye health, your mood, your skin health, all that stuff, like all the stuff that doesn't necessarily keep you alive will just go, will just shut down. And then you're gonna feel horrible, and then you're gonna complain, las dietas no funcionan, the diets don't work, is what you're gonna say in your language. And then you're gonna blame everybody but yourself, and in reality it was your fault because you went ahead and you cut too many calories, Leroy, and you shouldn't have done that. So with that said, how does intermittent fasting work? Intermittent fasting is nothing more, honestly, than just a creative way to cut your calories. That's all it is. With that said, it does have some added benefits to it because the fasting part usually is in the morning. I would say probably 95% of people that intermittent fast, they fast in the morning. You can also do it at night, but I don't see people do that often. Now, if you fast, you're going to fast either in the morning or at night because you want to use the time that you sleep as part of that fast. You don't eat or drink when you sleep. So that's already a fast of 7 to 9 hours, depending on how long you sleep. So let's say you sleep 8 hours. Now, every hour you eat, you do not eat. After you wake up, every hour you stay 0 calorie after you wake up prolongs that fast. So when you sleep, you're fasting for 8 hours, then you wake up, and if you then go 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours without eating, then you just went 8 hours sleeping, no food, and then you just went another 8 hours with no food. You just fasted for a whole gosh dang 16 hours right there, straight up. And then it's time to eat. Now, if you do the math, here in America, every day has 24 hours. Now, 24 minus 16 in Alabama and Florida and California, that's 8 hours right there. Now, then you have 8 hours to eat. Now, if you have 8 hours to eat and your goal, your trainer told you to hit 1,700 calories because your trainer's smart, your trainer's not going to put you on a 1,200 calorie diet, then how much easier is it to stick to 1,700 calories in 8 hours versus waking up and having 16 waking hours, getting those 1,600 or 1,700 calories in 16 hours, then you're more likely to overeat. So first off, it's a creative way to cut calories. Secondly, when you cut those calories in the beginning part of your day, you're not feeding your body. And your body will go through what is called autophagy. Now, autophagy is basically when you don't feed your body will repair and rejuvenate and replenish itself from the inside out. Now, the longer you fast, the more that autophagy will really do its thing. So if you fast every day for 8 hours, meaning 16 hours, but you don't eat for 8 hours, you will get a little bit of autophagy, meaning your liver enzymes will replenish, your digestion will get back up to speed, and a lot of things in your body will just kind of like rev back up because they're giving an opportunity, they are given a break from you constantly stressing it by eating. See, every time you eat, you're stressing your digestive system. But if you don't eat, your digestive system is given a break. So that's one. Two is that when you do not eat, you are also it's also part of the autophagy, is you're boosting your insulin sensitivity. You don't have to worry about that really. It's just the way your body deals with carbs. So if you're not eating and your insulin sensitivity goes up, it basically means that while you're not eating, which I don't know why I'm doing this, I guess this is what you do when you don't eat, and then you start eating, or when you're not eating, you're getting your body ready for the foods you're about to eat. And then you go eat, this is how you eat right here. And then you eat, and your body's like, oh yeah, I've been waiting, like that song. And then the carbs come down, and they get properly partitioned to where they need to be. Your nutrient partitioning will go up. That's another term you really don't need to worry about. Long story short, the fast does have its benefits. And before I end this video, some of those benefits of that morning fast is that when you fast in the morning, your cortisol goes up as well. Cortisol is a stress hormone. As you know, it eats away at fat tissue. It also eats away at muscle tissue. But if you eat enough protein, then you will be fine during your eating window. Secondly, when your cortisol goes up, it increases mental alertness and just increases overall focus and concentration. Now, furthermore, if you are eating at night because you're not eating in the morning, then it's also a more socially acceptable way of eating, because it's a very easy way for you to save all your calories for 6, 7, 8 p.m. even. So if you have a suegra who likes to go out to eat, she likes to take you out to eat because she loves you so much, she thinks you're so cute, she always pinches you in the cheek and says, oh, mi güero, and all that, then you can go out to eat with her and not overshoot on your calories. And she's probably gonna take you to like some lardy place, but still, you're not gonna overshoot on your calories because you will have that room, and it's just more socially acceptable. Also, lastly, eating carbs at night has shown to improve your REM sleep, your rapid eye movement sleep. Long story short, like every time you sleep, you have a couple times where your eyes go brrr, and that's basically when your body is at its deepest state of sleep. And that's when your body excretes or produces the most growth hormone. And growth hormone keeps you young, it burns fat and builds muscle, so it's very important. With that said, are there any downsides to intermittent fasting? There's really only two. One of them I experienced myself, and that is when you are on a higher calorie diet. Back in the day, I was eating like 3,700 because I was like, yeah, I'm a power lifter now, bruh. I'm a power lifter now. And I would go out to eat. I was intermittent fasting. I wasn't eating till like noon. And then I would go to True Food and I would order 2 entrees because I'm a power lifter now. And I would eat like the whole pizza, and I would eat, well, honestly, this is not really like a downside intermittent fasting. I was just being dumb. But what I was doing was, because I was intermittent fasting, I thought, oh, I can have 1,500 calories right before bedtime. And like not even 3 hours before going to bed, like 1 hour before going to bed. You put your whole stomach full of food, then you go lay horizontal. That caused some digestive stress, let me tell you right there. So I don't recommend you do that. So the higher the calorie amount that you're eating, the less you should fast, because you do want to be able to fit all your calories in while at the same time having your last meal 3 hours before you go to bed, so that you give your body enough chance to digest all the nutrients and all that stuff. A second con that I would say is that if you are already very stressed out, you might find that in the morning fast, your cortisol goes up and you find yourself even more stressed out. However, with that said, I would still push through, because the reasons that are causing you to be stressed out are probably due to the fact that you have a little bit of chub, but this intermittent fasting might help you get rid of that chub, and then you won't be as stressed. Also, stress is spending emotional energy on stuff you can't control. Just stop watching the news. So in conclusion, should you do intermittent fasting? I think you should at least try it, because it's just an easy way to get on a caloric deficit. But with that said, despite even all the benefits that I just mentioned, you can get results as long as you're on a caloric deficit. Like, that's the most important thing. So really, you have to see intermittent fasting as a caloric deficit plus. Like, it's the Ferrari version of getting on a caloric deficit. It's almost silly not to intermittent fast, and in not intermittent fasting, you're kind of making it harder on yourself. So intermittent fasting is just such a good way to stay productive and really have a double-edged sword every single day. In the morning, you are burning fat, you are boosting your cortisol, boosting your insulin sensitivity, and you are more mentally alert. And then at night, you can go out to eat and not really, like, you don't have to starve yourself at night. You can eat whatever you want. You still have to watch your portions, but you can have bigger meals at night. And also, like I said, that carbs will help you sleep better. But have you ever had it where you eat a big meal, like Thanksgiving, and afterwards you're like, oh, you kind of relax? Well, if you have that every night, it's only going to help with your sleep. And sleep is the fountain of youth. So try it out, intermittent fasting. And hey, do me a favor. Let me know how this helped you.